Atlanta nights always have a certain magic to them. The music, the people, the energy, it's electric. But sometimes that same energy can flip. One small spark, one wrong look, one whispered word, and everything can blow up in an instant. That's exactly what happened one unforgettable night when Kirk Frost and young Jock crossed paths with Lil Scrappy inside one of Atlanta's hottest nightclubs. What started as a night of fun, music, and champagne almost turned into an all-out war between three of the city's most recognizable faces. Nobody expected the drama that was about to unfold. But when egos, pride, and old wounds collide, things don't just simmer. They explode. It was one of those nights that could only happen in Atlanta. The club was packed, bodies moving in rhythm to the bass so deep you could feel it in your chest. Neon lights sliced through thick clouds of perfume and hookah smoke. The DJ was in his zone, spinning hit after hit. Bottles were popping, people were laughing, and for a moment, it felt like nothing could go wrong. In one of the VIP sections, Kirk Frost and young Jock arrived looking sharp. Designer clothes, chains catching the light, that unmistakable ATL swagger that comes from years of being in the game. But anyone paying attention could see it. Something about their energy was off. Kirk's smile looked forced, tight around the edges. Jock's laugh sounded hollow, a little too loud, a little too fake. They were surrounded by their usual entourage, but their eyes kept drifting toward another VIP section across the club. That's where Lil Scrappy was holding court. If Kirk and Jock were the veterans keeping it cool, Scrappy was the spark that lit the whole room. He had that larger-than-life presence, smiling, dancing, dapping people up, and moving through the crowd like a king in his castle. Everyone wanted a piece of him. Fans stopped by to take pictures, women leaned in close for hugs, and the DJ even shouted him out more than once. "Scrappy in the building! ATL, make some noise!" The crowd erupted. Scrappy raised his glass, grinning ear to ear. It was his night, but not everyone in the room was celebrating. From across the club, Kirk and Jock were watching. And the longer they watched, the more their smiles faded. Whispers started between them, short, sharp, and bitter. "You see what I'm talking about?" Jock said, leaning closer to Kirk so no one could overhear. Kirk's eyes never left Scrappy. "Yeah," he muttered, voice low. "I see it." To the casual observer, they just looked like two guys talking over drinks. But there was history behind those glances, a lot of it. These three men, Kirk, Jock, and Scrappy, had been moving in the same circles for years. Music, business, mutual friends, the whole ATL scene. On the surface, everything looked cool. They smiled for the cameras, dapped each other up at events, and posted love on Instagram. But those who really knew the streets knew there was tension simmering beneath all that. Rumors, broken trust, money that didn't add up, words said behind closed doors, the kind of stuff that doesn't go away. And lately, things had been getting worse. Scrappy's rising fame, his unfiltered personality, his habit of keeping it real on social media, it rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. Especially Kirk and Jock, who felt that Scrappy had been getting reckless with his words. They thought he'd been running his mouth about things that were supposed to stay private. And that night, they decided they weren't going to let it slide. The DJ switched tracks, dropping a new banger that made the crowd go wild. Scrappy hit the dance floor with a few of his friends, vibing, laughing, living it up. If he noticed Kirk and Jock watching him, he didn't show it. Maybe he didn't care. Or maybe he didn't think they'd actually do anything. But then, they stood up. Kirk adjusted his jacket. Jock cracked his neck. And together they started moving through the packed crowd, heading straight toward Scrappy. People noticed immediately. The energy in that part of the club changed, like everyone could sense something was about to happen. Groups shifted, creating a small bubble of space around them. Phones started coming out, everyone wanting to capture whatever was coming next. Scrappy turned just as they approached. His smile faded. "What's going on, fellas?" he asked, trying to sound casual but clearly alert. Behind him, his crew tensed up, ready in case things got messy. Kirk didn't waste time. "You've been running your mouth," he said, voice low but sharp. "You know what I'm talking about," Scrappy frowned. "I don't know what you mean," he said, taking a slow sip from his glass. "But if you got something to say it." Jock stepped forward, closing the distance between them. His tone was calm, but his eyes said otherwise. "We got plenty to say," he snapped. "And if you're smart, you'll listen." The crowd's energy went from excitement to unease. Music still pounded through the speakers, but in that corner, it was all tension and silence. Scrappy squared up slightly, voice firm. Oh yeah? Like what? That was the moment the whole room held its breath. A fight wasn't just possible, it felt inevitable. Jock pointed right at him. You've been talking out of line, saying one thing to us and another to everybody else. You think that's cool? You think we won't find out? Scrappy's jaw tightened. He wasn't the type to back down, not even against two people at once. If I've got something to say, I'll say it to your face, he shot back. But don't come at me with some weak rumors. You got proof? Show it, Kirk smirked, pulling out his phone. Oh, we got proof. He unlocked it, scrolled for a second, then held the screen up just inches from Scrappy's face. Recognize this? Whatever was on that screen made Scrappy's expression harden instantly. He clenched his jaw, eyes darting for a split second before he looked back up. So now y'all showing screenshots? Out of context messages? That's what this is about? Out of context? Jock barked, stepping closer. This isn't out of context. You've been talking slick, saying one thing to the label, another to the streets. You playing both sides, and it's time you own it. Scrappy planted his feet, refusing to move an inch. You think you can press me? Right here? In front of everybody, he spat. You must have lost your damn mind. Kirk leaned in close, so close you could barely hear him over the bass. Keep talking, he whispered, and you'll see what happens next. Scrappy didn't flinch. You don't scare me, he said evenly. You never did. And just like that, everything teetered on the edge. Kirk's eyes narrowed. Jock's hands clenched into fists. Scrappy's crew started stepping forward. The crowd pulled back, waiting for the first swing. That's when a massive security guard appeared out of nowhere, shoving between them. All right, that's enough, he said firmly, pushing Kirk back with one hand and signaling Scrappy's crew to step aside. Take it outside or take a seat. Nobody moved for a few tense seconds. Then Kirk finally stepped back, sliding his phone into his pocket. He gave Scrappy a long, cold look. We'll handle this another time, he muttered. Then he and Jock turned and walked back to their section. Scrappy stood still, breathing heavy. One of his friends leaned close. You good, man? I'm good, Scrappy said quietly. But the look in his eyes said otherwise. He wasn't scared, he was angry. Angry that they'd tried to check him in public. Angry that everyone had seen it, and angry that he knew it wasn't over. He sat down slowly, gripping his drink, trying to calm his nerves. They're all talk, he said under his breath. But deep down, he knew better. This was far from finished. By now, word of the confrontation was spreading through the club like wildfire. People were whispering, exaggerating, adding their own spin. Someone claimed they almost threw punches. Another said Scrappy called Kirk out by name. A shaky video started circulating on social media, just a few seconds long, but enough to make it look explosive. Within minutes, the hashtags were everywhere. Kirk v. Scrappy, argued Jock got receipts. Our ATL club drama, Kirk saw the posts and scrolled in silence. They talking like we the bad guys, he muttered. Jock leaned over. It's all noise, but maybe it's time we set the record straight. Kirk nodded slowly. Yeah, we need to handle this. Across the club, Scrappy's friends showed him the same viral clips. They calling you the king of the club, bro, one said with a laugh. Scrappy forced a smile. Yeah, but this ain't over, he said, staring across the room at Kirk and Jock. They're sitting over there plotting. I can feel it, and he was right. They weren't done. As the night wound down, Kirk and Jock finally stood to leave. They didn't say much. They didn't have to. One nod was enough. They were going to make sure this story didn't end in that club. It was just getting started. Outside, the cool air did nothing to chill the tension. They walked to their car, scrolling through the comments, the retweets, the rumors. You know what we need to do, Kirk said after a long silence. Jock looked over and nodded. Yeah, he said quietly. They didn't need to say more. And inside the club, Scrappy sat in the VIP booth staring at his reflection in the glass. The music was still loud, people were still dancing, but for him, the night was done. He could feel it. This wasn't just drama. This was personal. He took a deep breath and muttered to himself, They think I'm gonna fold, but they got me messed up. This just the beginning, and maybe it was. Because in Atlanta, nothing stays quiet for long.